A boy, a toy train, and a warm smile. The old photograph is dated December 24th, 1902. It was taken at a busy train station in Chicago. At first glance, it looks like pure Christmas joy, captured forever. But when photo restoration experts carefully cleaned away more than a century of damage in 2024, they found something surprising written on the toy train itself. 7 simple words that showed this was not just a happy gift, it was a quiet goodbye. And the boy holding that train would never live to see Christmas morning. In March 2024, an estate liquidation company in Evanston, Illinois, was sorting through the last items from an old Victorian house. Almost everything had already been sold or thrown away, but one box of old photographs was left behind. No one wanted them. The pictures were too damaged, too faded, and showed faces of people long forgotten. Sarah Mitchell, the owner of the company, was about to toss the entire box into the trash when one photograph suddenly caught her attention. It showed a young boy, around 9 or 10 years old, standing on what looked like a cold train platform. He was wearing a heavy winter coat that seemed much too large for his small, thin body. In his arms, he clutched an expensive-looking toy locomotive tightly against his chest. Even though water stains, tears, and old spots covered nearly 70% of the image, the boy's smile still shone through clearly, bright and full of life. Something about his face stayed with me, Sarah remembered later. He looked so happy in that moment, but there was also something fragile about him, as if he was holding on to more than just a toy. On the back of the photograph, the writing was hard to read because of water damage, but it still said, Chicago and Northwestern Station, December 24th, 1902. Sarah decided not to throw the photo away. Instead, she reached out to Dr. Michael Chen at the Chicago History Museum. He was an expert in early 20th century photography and the history of Chicago. The moment Michael saw the image, he recognized the location right away. It was the original Union Station building that had burned down many years later in 1911. This photograph is important, Michael said, while studying it closely under strong magnification. It comes from the late Victorian period, and the quality is surprisingly good, even though it was taken outdoors on a cold winter day. The boy's clothes clearly showed he came from a poor family, but the toy train he held was a Märklin, a fine German-made locomotive that cost a lot of money. Most working-class families could never afford such an expensive toy. Michael and his team began the slow process of restoring the damaged photo, using modern technology that could reveal hidden details. As they worked through layer after layer of stains and scratches, something unexpected started to appear on the toy train. Under high-resolution imaging, they could see small letters carefully carved into the metal side of the locomotive. Michael carefully adjusted the contrast and sharpened the image until the words became clear. He read them aloud. To Danny. Love always. December 24th, 1902. His assistant smiled and said, It looks like a Christmas gift. Someone must have given it to him on the very same day the photo was taken, but Michael kept working on the image. A few moments later, he found more writing below the first message. The handwriting was different, shakier, and harder to read. It simply said, Remember me. Those 2 words sent a cold feeling through everyone in the room. This was no ordinary Christmas photograph. It felt like a final farewell from a child who knew his time was short. Michael spent days searching through old Chicago newspaper archives. From December 1902, he looked for any mention of Union Station, Christmas Eve, or a boy named Danny. What he discovered would keep him busy for the next 6 months of his life. One headline from the Chicago Tribune, dated December 26, 1902, caught his eye. Tragedy on Christmas Eve. Child dies at Union Station. The short article reported that an unidentified boy, about 10 years old, had been found dead near the passenger platform at Chicago's Union Station on Christmas Eve. He was clutching a toy train in his arms. The doctor said the cause of death was exposure to the cold and severe malnutrition. The police had tried to find his family, that the boy carried no identification at all. No one came forward to claim him. Michael whispered as he stared at the smiling face in the restored photograph. This poor child died completely alone on Christmas Eve, and nobody even knew his real name. As Michael dug deeper, he uncovered a painful chapter in American history that most people have forgotten today: the orphan train movement. From 1854 to 1929, over 200,000 orphaned and homeless children were put on trains and sent from crowded cities in the East to farms and towns in the Midwest and West. Many of these children were as young as 6. They were promised new families and better lives, but too often they ended up working as cheap labor on farms instead. Chicago was one of the biggest hubs for these orphan trains. On December 24, 1902, one such train was scheduled to leave Union Station at 6 p.m. and head toward Nebraska. The passenger list included 47 children between the ages of 6 and 14. One name on that list made Michael stop cold: Daniel McCarthy, age 10, with no known family. Michael contacted the Nebraska State Historical Society and asked for any records connected to that Christmas Eve orphan train. 3 weeks later, a simple manila folder arrived containing a detailed report written by the train's supervisor, a kind woman named Helen Crawford. Her report, dated January 1903, described exactly what happened that day. "We gathered all the children at Union Station around 4 p.m. for the 6 p.m. departure," she wrote. Daniel McCarthy was one of the older boys. He had been living on the harsh streets of Chicago for nearly 2 years after his mother died from tuberculosis. He was very thin and showed clear signs of sickness from the cold, but the examining doctor still cleared him for the journey. At about 5:30 p.m., a railroad worker named William Hartley approached me. He had become friends with Daniel over the past few months. Mr. Hartley asked politely if he could give the boy a small Christmas gift before the train left. He had bought a toy locomotive with his own hard-earned wages. I agreed. What happened next was one of the most moving moments I have ever witnessed in all my years helping these children. Mr. Hartley knelt down beside Daniel and handed him the wrapped toy train. He told the boy that this gift came from someone who truly believed he deserved a better life. In that instant, Daniel's tired face lit up with pure joy. For one brief moment, this starving and desperate child looked like any happy boy on Christmas morning. Mr. Hartley then paid a station photographer to take a picture of Daniel holding the gift. He gave the finished photograph to the boy to keep as his own. At 5:50 p.m., Daniel suddenly began struggling to breathe. Despite quick help from a doctor who arrived on the scene, the boy collapsed. He was pronounced dead at 6:15 p.m., just 15 minutes after the train was supposed to depart. The doctor explained that Daniel's body had simply endured too much hardship. Years of hunger, freezing winters, and untreated illness. He had likely been dying slowly for many months, but had kept holding on with hope for something better. Daniel died still tightly holding the toy train. His small fingers were wrapped around it so firmly that it was difficult to remove. In his final moments, this lonely child had something he had probably never experienced before. A gift given with real love and clear proof that at least one person in the world cared whether he lived or died. William Hartley was deeply heartbroken. He used his own money to pay for a proper burial for the boy. Michael continued his research and learned more about the kind railroad worker. Old census records showed William Hartley was a 34-year-old man who worked for the Chicago and Northwestern Railway and lived in a simple boarding house near the station. Then, in the archives of the Chicago Daily News, Michael found a powerful letter to the editor published on December 28, 1902. It was written by William M. Hartley himself, and reading it brought tears to Michael's eyes. In the letter, William described how he first met Daniel sleeping in a cold maintenance shed. He started bringing the boy small amounts of food every day and listened to his stories about his mother, the hard streets, and his quiet hope for a better future. When he learned Daniel would be sent on the orphan train, William decided to spend 2 full weeks of his wages on the beautiful Markland toy train just to see the boy smile. For 10 minutes on Christmas Eve, William wrote. Daniel McCarthy had something he had never known before. Real joy, a gift, and the knowledge that his life mattered to someone. I buried him in Graceland Cemetery and paid for a simple headstone that reads, Daniel McCarthy, 1890–1902. He was loved. The letter ended with a heartfelt plea to the people of Chicago, not to ignore the many suffering children still living on the streets. Years later, Michael managed to locate the actual toy train that Daniel had held in his final moments. William Hartley had kept it as a precious memory. After William's death in 1924, the train passed through several hands until it reached a private collector. When Michael explained the full story, the collector kindly agreed to lend the historic toy to the Chicago History Museum. When the train arrived, Michael examined it closely under magnification. Inside the locomotive's small cab, where only someone holding the toy would notice, he found more words carefully carved into the metal. They read, My name is Daniel McCarthy. I am 10 years old. I lived at Union Station. Mr. Hartley gave me this train. He said I was worth remembering. If I die, please tell someone that I was here. Please remember me. Daniel had scratched these desperate words himself, probably using a nail or piece of wire in the short time between receiving the gift and his death. It seemed he had sensed that he might not survive to see the next day. In December 2024, exactly 122 years after that sad Christmas Eve, the Chicago History Museum opened a special exhibition titled, Remember Me, Daniel McCarthy and America's Forgotten Children. The beautifully restored photograph of Daniel smiling with his toy train was placed at the center, displayed together with the actual locomotive, William Hartley's moving letter, and the secret message Daniel had carved inside the train. The exhibition touched many hearts and started important conversations about child poverty, homelessness, and how society treats its most vulnerable children. One visitor, an 87-year-old woman named Patricia Brennan, stood crying in front of Daniel's photograph for a long time. Later, she told Michael that her grandmother, Catherine Walsh, had been one of the 47 children on that same orphan train in 1902. Catherine had stood near Daniel that day. She saw William give him the toy train and never forgot the bright smile that appeared on the sick boy's face. Even while dying, Daniel had turned to the other children and wished them a good new family. Thanks to the exhibition, donations to charities helping homeless and poor children increased sharply across the country. In June 2025, the city of Chicago placed a memorial bench near the modern Union Station. A simple plaque on the bench reads, In memory of Daniel McCarthy, 1892–1902, and all the children who deserved better. Please remember me. Every year on December 24th, museum staff place fresh flowers beside the photograph and the little toy train. Thousands of visitors, including many school groups, come to learn Daniel's story. The photograph has now been seen by millions of people online. The lonely boy who once carved Please Remember Me into a toy train because he feared being forgotten has become one of the most remembered children in Chicago's history. Daniel McCarthy died alone on Christmas Eve in 1902, holding the only Christmas gift he ever received from a kind railroad worker who believed his short life mattered. But more than 122 years later, that single act of kindness has helped thousands of other vulnerable children through increased support and awareness. The boy who simply asked to be remembered truly was remembered, and in the end his story changed things for the better.